So how's the region performed this past year? F13 was another strong year for Latin America, with solid performance on the trading front and truly exceptional operational performance. We grew beer volumes by 3.5% and revenue by 9.4%. We grew management EBITDA by 13.7% or 11.5% in constant currency, with all countries delivering double-digit profit growth except for Honduras and Argentina. This means that we delivered cost leverage down our income statement with good production and distribution and efficiency improvements and solid fixed cost productivity. We increased our EBITDA margin further to reach a lofty 27.2%. We improved our net working capital to minus 4.6% of revenue and generated further cash from net working capital reduction. We generated over $1.4 billion in pre-exceptional operational cash flow. This was all round a very satisfactory outcome. So what were some of our key initiatives? We stepped up our innovation across a broad front, and we now have innovation of the past 3 years contributing 6% of our total revenue and around 50% of our incremental revenue. Brand innovation is roughly delivering half our incremental volume and new packs the other half, while we are also developing our non-alcoholic malt category across the region. We got our act together on global brands with our regional focus on MGD. We have learned a lot about consumer pathways and how to engage our consumers, and as a consequence of the development of our thinking on brand adoption, saw growth of 30% across the entire region, where we are in 11 countries and a whopping 72% in our operating countries. We actually have 6 markets growing at triple-digit rates and 4 at double-digit rates in Latin America. We made also good progress with our affordability strategy in Colombia, Honduras and El Salvador, where our 750 milliliter bulk pack returnable bottle is gaining a foothold amongst consumers as they develop a sharing culture. And lastly, we've done very well with our proactive approach to managing license to trade issues. We face challenges constantly in the region, but are happy to report that we defended value at stake of over $300 million this past year. So what is a standout country performance? Well, while I would like to acknowledge the performance of all of our operating countries, I do have to single out El Salvador. El Salvador grew beer volumes by 11.5%, despite a very sluggish economy and tough operating conditions. But more importantly, El Salvador grew management EBITDA by a record 30% in F13. El Salvador faces 2 very strong competitors in the soft drink space, with the Pepsi bottler from the neighboring Guatemala competing strongly on price and the local B brand producers selling close to the economic floor. It is a testament to our brand building capabilities that we were able to raise prices and gain market share at the same time. Actually, El Salvador has become an exceptionally strong operational unit, with excellence the hallmark of everything they do. From marketing creativity to trade execution to customer service to manufacturing performance to distribution efficiencies and to progressive HR practices, El Salvador has become the operation to benchmark. What is the most pleasing is to see the spirit and morale of our people in El Salvador. It is an organization on fire, and the results are merely the consequence of high levels of engagement and commitment there. So what were some of LATAM's proudest moments this past year? Well, we had many highlights across the region, and we've been making progress in providing the right level of recognition and encouragement to all of our people. But to mention a few, we grew market share in all of our operating countries. We grew our share of the alcohol market everywhere, especially so in Colombia, Ecuador, Honduras and El Salvador. We also made a lot of progress where we have stiffer competition in the beer category. In Panama, we grew our beer market share from 65% to 72%, as probably our most standout performance on the back of a highly successful Miller Lite blend that has reached over 20% market share in just 3 years from launch and at a premium price. In Peru, we now have over 94% market share, competing there with Latin America's giant of Ambev. We ended F13 with our breweries holding all 10 of the top 10 SABMiller brewery ranking spots, Colombia with 3, Peru with 4, Ecuador with 2, which is both, and El Salvador with 1, which is also its only one. Actually, El Salvador has held the number 1 slot for 33 consecutive months now. Lastly, we successfully went live with the Triumph Global Solution up to release 3A in Ecuador, and we implemented the regional solution in Panama on time, within budget, and within scope. So what are some of our priorities for F14? Our main priorities are in the commercial area, where we're aiming at continuing the journey we've been on. The most important things for us to do are to continue growing share of the alcohol and beer markets, to accelerate our affordability strategy, to sustain our growth with global brands, and to strengthen our local premium brands further, while finding further revenue opportunities and optimizing our brand, pack, region, channel, price architecture. Secondly, we are busy exploring the opportunities that digital technology offers us. On the consumer front, we will continue with our digital acceleration program started in F13, where we are skilling up rapidly, are providing booster shots to key brands in our markets, and have formed a community of practice to be able to do regional deals with social media and learn from each other. On the customer front, we are conducting a pilot with Salesforce.com to help us connect all of our customer-facing staff through the cloud, and are aiming to pilot mobile payment, digital merchandising, and automated order generation. On the business front, we are developing our information tools based on a standardized information model that will give us real-time visibility of key performance indicators anywhere and at any time, and allow us to tap into digital feeds. Lastly, we're also enhancing our social listening skills to keep us abreast with what is happening around us and to allow us to engage in real time. Thirdly, we are continuing our work to place more emphasis on the H in HR. There are a few interesting facets to this, but in the main, this involves getting to the essence of performance management, ensuring that our HR calendar is sensible and that the HR processes are intrinsic to how we work and lead, that we lean more to guidance than restrictive policies, that we teach our leaders the linguistic skills to hold meaningful conversations, and that we make sure we provide meaningful jobs to all of our people. Fourthly, we are continuing to learn and get smarter about how to manage our license to trade. We are learning and leveraging relationships. We are connecting up with more stakeholders in order to build stronger alliances. We are getting more knowledgeable about the law and its provisions, and we are sharing and learning together. This is such an important area for us that we are allocating more time and skill to make progress. Lastly, we've just launched our regional CSI program aimed at helping 40,000 low-end retailers across the region to become more proficient retailers, to improve the sustainability of their livelihood and the financial robustness of their businesses, to become part of the formal economy, and to help them play a more meaningful role in their communities. We are working in partnership with the Inter-American Development Bank and other financial institutions, NGOs, who are also contributing to the cost of this program. So what do I want people to think about in the next year? Well, firstly and foremost, as always, driving top-line growth in all its forms. Innovation, affordability, premiumization, marketing effectiveness, digital marketing, trade execution, etc. Second is going digital, not just in the business, but personally as well. Number three, caring more about the success of our customers and not just our success with them. Fourthly, looking at our end-to-end supply chain and getting smarter and finding more opportunities to reduce cost and capital tied up in the supply chain. And fifthly, getting even better at collaborating, not just across the areas and functions and countries, but across the group-wide SABMiller hierarchy as well.